Our first night was spent just outside of Whitehorse at a little place called Jake's Corners. It was a pullout with a bathroom and a few other vehicles who were resting for the night. When we woke in the morning, it was actually so much easier to leave a place that had zero emotional attachment. Hey, buddy. Cheers to day 2.
Cheers.
We set out with hot drinks and warmed our hands after a 40-degree morning. My heart felt a slight pang when we didn't know the woman on the construction crew or anyone in the store where we stopped for breakfast. So we hung on to the gifts from our friends a little bit tighter. It's so nice to have something tangible to hold on to. And the drive has gotten a little bit easier. Projects and music make that happen. We made a dance stop at a place called Signpost Alley. It's one of our favorites, but we've never danced here before. Oh, you thought there was music? Drinking dogs and construction vehicles are pretty much the soundtrack to our life. Hannah and I napped in the back while I parked my wig for a bit, which felt amazing.
Hey there, I just wanted to say thank you.
That reminds me. My friend Vanessa gave us these woolly dreads that she made, and I made her this message to thank her.
Stuck. You know what I'm doing. This is my bad hair day hat for when I don't want to wear my wig.
And thank you for helping to make this impossibility less impossible. The winding road rolled me from side to side in the back of the rig, and the scenery was just too beautiful anyway, so I jumped back up front with Tim.
So much for the old shit handle.
All right, what do you do with lights?
As a child, Tim was told to blow on a red light to turn it green.
Didn't work this time. Right.
With all sun and no rain, it was so dry and dusty, and it was taking a toll on the wildlife. These wild bison were feeling the heat. Oh, and when I say wildlife, I mean wild life. Next up, a roadside caribou.
Oh, look at you. Whoa, bears. Oh. You stop here?
Is that a black bear?
Yeah.
It was along this British Columbia corridor that we saw all the wildlife. But even the horses made me happy because I hadn't seen a horse or a cow or even a deer in 18 months. I wanted to hang on to every drop of turquoise water that flowed through these braided rivers and all the tree-lined features of mountains that looked so similar to Haines. But even as the mountains began to bald, it still felt like the earth was reaching up on all sides of us to embrace us in this earthy hug. The devastation from wildfires always hits me hard. I don't know if it's because I'm feeling closer to death or because I have this deep appreciation for things that regenerate. Before sunset, we camped out at one of my favorite spots in Fort Nelson. We met some nice people, but I wasn't prepared for the typical RV park conversation. Our New York license plate prompted so many questions, like where are you coming from? Where are you headed to? And what brings you all the way out here? I don't know how to answer those things in the tone of polite conversation. I need an elevator pitch for finding better hospice care.
You in Daddy's spot, Hannah.
Hi.
How you feel sleeping in the middle?
We actually did sleep well under a moonlit night and had a very hearty breakfast in the morning. Tim got all my bread because I'm afraid of things that are gonna bind me.
Hi.
At the same time, I'm like, I feel much better than I did 2 weeks ago. I'm eating a lot less, but when I do eat a meal, things are moving through, and that's a good sign. So I don't really feel like I'm in impending danger right now. At the same time, we're like, maybe I could fly back to Haines, but man, saying goodbye to it again would just be doubly painful. I think we're going to hunker down in New York. And let's say this cancer is as slow growing as it was in the beginning. If that's the case, maybe we fly to Haines for the hooligan run, and I don't know, we're still thinking in these worlds of possibilities, and then also at the world of it could all end tomorrow, and it just feels so big and so heavy. But nobody can give me an answer as to from the time symptoms start to when things become catastrophic. I have no idea what that timeline is. Well, what I do know, I spoke with a hospice nurse and I asked her point blank, when bowel obstructions start, what's the timeline? And she said the longest she's ever in her 20-some year career has ever seen somebody last is a week, and that it wasn't pretty. And it's like, oh, it's that kind of timeline. Okay. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
It's like home. Oof, the connections. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's really hard. Every time Tim and I travel across the country, we do so in separate vehicles. This trip was always meant to be about us being together and doing fun things, making detours. My oncologist in New York is amazing. She's been my family for 6 years. We told her we were leaving for New York and that we weren't sure where we were going. We were going to kind of meander. She said, get a map together and I will mark out every university hospital. She was going to map out places to find help so Tim wasn't in trouble if we got caught on the road unaware. And I mean, I don't think that's going to happen now, but anyway, thank you, Maria. We had planned all these different stops and it just feels too big. I feel like things need to be smaller and more intimate, and we need to just stop and feel more because it's the only way we can go forward. These feelings that, I don't know, if we don't move through them, we can't move to the next step. And so that's really feeling more important right now. While we can still find moments of fun between the two of us, always, the drive became a lot more somber. It was important to Tim to put as many things as possible between our Haines departure and our New York arrival. But then he realized why he was doing it. And what I felt was untethered and unsettled. I desperately wanted my feet on solid ground. Seeing the fiery orange sun reflected in the water, we really tried to find a camping spot where we could have that view, but it wasn't meant to be. It was time to feed the dogs, and we found a rest area. It's right on the highway. Yes, it had a bathroom, and we thought maybe we'll stay here for the night and just keep moving. But I just kind of broke. And when I did, it was like a shutdown of my nervous system. Like I'd been carrying so much, and I didn't even see it coming, but I couldn't keep going. I couldn't stay there. The traffic was maddening. The dogs were not settled. It was just hyping us up. And so we looked for a campground. Luckily, we had 2 bars of service, which was the first time we'd really had that. This woman who answered the phone, and she said she was sold out. When we accepted that, we didn't ask any questions. She asked which way we were going, where we were heading to, what kind of vehicle we had, and she didn't give up on us. And next thing you knew, she said, come. We got here, and Tim he kind of fell apart at the kiosk where she was checking us in. He was trying to tell her that her kindness really mattered to a stranger, and what came out instead was our entire story. And then they discovered their fellow fighters, and she and I are both professional photographers. And although her husband is fine now, he had also been diagnosed. She held my hand, introduced herself as Bobby, and gifted us a campsite that had just been canceled due to the smoke. We're in this incredible place by a river. She said it's a magical space, and it really is. And right now, the moon is red from the smoke from the wildfires. Anyway, we're gonna get some sleep and we're gonna take better care of ourselves tomorrow. Today, things just snuck up on us. We're carrying a lot and it's been hard. She said it's the most beautiful spot on the river, and I'll tell you, it really is. That morning was softened by the most beautiful mist, and Tim made me the cutest campfire where we sat talking about how to live in the here and now. I love you so much. Let's dance. Every day we dance.
Morning cheers. Morning dance. I love you.
I love you too, dog hair and all. Well, it's totally dusty, and the dogs, we want to get them out of this dust. They're not loving it. We do have a chance to take showers, which is where Tim's at now. Somebody's clean. Aside from the dogs. My turn's next. With his sinuses cleared, it's good he's sitting over there. Once I was clean, we took our black bears over to a grassy spot and brushed so much dirt and so much fur out of their coats. And as we did, a car pulled up, and it was Bobby, owner of Salmon Valley Campground. She wanted to make sure we got our showers and built our fire, and if we wanted to stay another night, we could. We sat talking for, it had to be 45 minutes. We had so much in common. This instantly felt like one of those connections that wouldn't die when we left. In fact, since returning to New York, we still keep in contact. We've also been having an awful lot of fun. Kind of like James Corden's carpool karaoke. We've been doing a bit of that, and we decided to call it Klondike karaoke. What you doing, Liv? Yeah. That was the best. Hannah wasn't impressed, but we're going to make a whole video of this. Laughing so hard. And then some lyrics will strike us. And then it just feels real again. You know, we've got these wildfires, and so the smoke has been difficult. You can hear it in my voice, along with a lot of singing. But the sun is so high in the sky right now, it's about noon. There's water ahead of me that looks like it's sunset, and it's beautiful, but it's surreal, and I kind of feel like I'm in the upside down, and everything is so ethereal. When we left Salmon Valley Campground, we took much better care of ourselves. We made a stop at Mount Robson Park, and even when conversation felt a little bit darker and a little bit sadder, we still carried the light with us, and we carried Bobby with us too. We were listening to her podcast called Rooted in the River and sent her pictures from the road. Just before sunset, Tim found us the perfect little pull-off. It was right next to a river, and we parked there for a really long time. I say parked because we weren't allowed to camp, so we didn't. The day ended with a soft glow, and the night was bathed in moonlight. We woke to beauty surrounding us in all directions. The rush of the water was the perfect soundtrack for the most perfect morning, with The most perfect guy for me. After nearly 20 years, he still manages to flip my wig.
Can you take me? Where are we going? Show me.
On this day, we were heading out through the Icefields Parkway. If I had to pick one place even more beautiful than Haines, Alaska, it would be here in Jasper. Around every bend is a view more majestic than the last. I can't help but feel this grand sense of inferiority here, but in the best way possible. Like this appreciation for the forces that have created this incredible landscape and the awe that it brings with it. Every time we pass the Columbia Icefield and the Athabasca Glacier, I've always wanted to stop to walk it. Well, this was our chance. How cool is this? I got to see my first pika. It's a little rodent that lives in the alpine area, and I've never seen one till today. We arrived at the perfect time and had the place to ourselves. So, you know what that means. It was our second dance of the day, and I think we're getting a better handle on our dip.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Haven't we did you?
And what could make this experience even more incredible? Oh, you know, just add a bear. As we continued on to Lake Louise, the mountains grew even taller and the valleys grew even more beautiful. And I wanted this to continue on forever. But that's not how things work. This glorious mountain range diminished into the flatness of grasslands. The tallest features in this landscape were hay trucks and farm silos. Hour after hour, we were forced to face our feelings. The only distraction was the occasional tree or cow or farm equipment. Mostly, it was just wave after wave after wave of grief and watching bugs meet their end on the windshield.
This flat, barren landscape, no mountains to hug you. It's just open sky, which is beautiful, but it's not my ocean and my river and my lake and my mountain.
As we entered Swift River, there would be no comfy cush place to rest for the evening. The only RV park available was in a field filled with mosquitoes right off the highway. But it had a beautiful view of moonrise, and we were just there to sleep. Oh my gosh. We found a gas station near a salt flat filled with these beautiful red leaves and bought breakfast to match.
Down to potato chips and Twizzlers. But at least these are strawberry. It's kind of a fruit.
As the day wore on, so did my nerves. And Tim added his moose, his hiking mascot, to our emotional support animals. I looked for anything beautiful to ground me, like little roadside flowers or the salt flats that turned into a salt drift. For mutual fans of Heartland, we entered the town of Moose Jaw. So that was kind of a novelty. We were buzzed by a crop duster. We rode alongside so many train cars. We saw a lot of oil rigs. I just felt so displaced in the land
Of semi-trucks and loud noises and a lot of strangers and not wanting to go back because New York does not feel like my home anymore.
I was starting to deeply feel what Tim meant when he was fearing getting to the end point. Because the question as we were crossing the border back into the US was about crossing borders. At which point was I going to cross mine? Because that was still so unclear. But what was clear New York was never going to bring me as much joy as Haines had, because it never did. And it's also the scene of where so much of my trauma lies. I realize I'm literally choosing the bear. At the next moonlit rest stop, I found the cutest little toads. I tried scooting them out of the path until I realized they were eating the bugs that appeared under the street lamps. I swear, it's little joys like this that save me from myself. The next day started okay, and then partway through, I just look out the window and cry.
Tim was like, I can fly you to New York. This is so painful for you. It's just this big delay between one place and the other. And I don't want to fly back. I don't want to be without him or the dogs. They're my home. So
Leave it to Fargo, North Dakota to turn things around. While we were sitting at Denny's, we realized that the wood chipper from the film Fargo was only 6 minutes away. So of course we had to go. The wood chipper on the outside of the visitor center is a prop, but the one from the actual movie and signed by the Coen brothers is on the inside, complete with a foot. And we enjoyed some green space while we were there too. After days of hearing the hum of the tires and the air conditioner and the vehicles around us at night, I really needed some peace and quiet. So we booked a KOA, and instead we got this. The cicadas stopped as nightfall came, but that didn't help with the highway noise. The next morning, road noise sounded peaceful by comparison. So we got out from under those trees and we found a Perkins for breakfast. Aw, this song makes me happy. I call my friend Annie Soul Sister. And this guy makes me happy too. My nurse practitioner and my hospice nurse both called to see if I would make my check-ins. As Tim would say, we were making good time. And I'd say we were making really good time because we were arriving in New York a day early. With just one more sleep under our belts, it was time. We made our way to the New York border, and it felt like there was a whole lot of baggage waiting there for us. Getting off the highway at my old hometown was not an easy thing. It never is, but the reason I go is for this girl.
Oh, girl. I love you more. Okay, even Stevens. Who the hell is Steven anyway?
We've known each other since we were 7 years old.
Yeah.
And on this night, we shared a couch and some delicious scallops and just a whole lot of love. We also stayed up way too late. And Hannah has zero tolerance for sleeping in. I so rarely get to sign my artwork because it's print on demand. Orders go straight to my print partner and they get shipped out without ever touching my hands. It felt so special to leave a sweet message on the art that Gail bought before I got there and to see it hanging on her wall. I love you so much, Gail. And the only thing I hate about us is our goodbyes.
bye.
Easing the sting of having to leave, we did have one thing to look forward to. I've been through the Finger Lakes a million times in my lifetime and had never been to Watkins Glen, so Tim and I were going to fix that. The town was absolutely buzzing, but when we dropped into the gorge and stood among these waterfalls, it was absolute magic. We even found a little spot where we could be all by ourselves and dance.
I love you.
It was time for our journey's last leg. We enjoyed the last of the day's sunlight and the first colors of fall, and driving through the roadside goldenrod on our way home. Home. Our friends said they would open our house, but we weren't quite sure what to expect. So as we passed Albany, we made the plan to stop at Stewart's for ice cream and potato chips. before heading up the mile-long dead-end dirt road to home. Oh, that's awesome. Honey, we're home.
Honey, we're home.
Audra had swept up the dust of dirt road living off the floor, and she and the grandmas had turned on all the lights. And then they left us this gorgeous buffet of food. You guys,
Oh my
we
God.
loaded our fridge. We have the best friends ever.
We love you guys.
We really love you
We
guys.
really love you guys.
Thank you. It's been a long trip. Yeah. We are here, and we are so very done.